One of my YouTube favorites is a man by the name of Peter Draws. And now he's decided he's a doctor. So Dr. Peter Draws. And he's a artist who loves drawing, I think, even more than I do. There's something about, he seems to have an urge to make lines. And it doesn't make any difference what he uses to make a line. He's used bananas, Sharpies, fountain pens, carrots. Maybe he's used, I don't know if I've seen him draw with a banana, but maybe not a carrot. And he draws with spray paint. He draws with brushes, but they're really drawings. Rarely would I call them paintings. They're almost always monochromatic, black and white. Sometimes they're white on black. Sometimes they're... He even did a drawing using a new digital 3D game-like thing. But for him, it's about a line. And he recently talked about a exercise that you can do when you have writer's block. And he starts off with a doodle, and any line can make a doodle, and he showed something that looked like this. And he said, just start with that and expand it. Now, and he invited people to post their products from this beginning on Instagram. doodlejumpstart, #doodlejumpstart. So I thought, well, I'll do that. I've been doing these things for years, except they've been in my day, in second grade, when I was in second grade in 1962, I think. 60, I don't know, whenever it was, in the 60s. I was given a challenge drawing to do, and it was a drawing that had 3 shapes, and you had to turn it into something. So I do that all the time. Peter and his brethren, I guess, his followers, tend to be more doodly, meaning the result is an abstract image made of lines. And even though they can have a spatial look about them, they tend to be abstract, non-representational things. I, on the other hand, turn things into things. I turn shapes into actual representations of real things. Now, I may play with how I draw them to have them be more cartoony and less realistic. What I've done is I've printed up the same thing a number of times, and I'll just see what I can come up with it while you watch. Oh, this one. Okay, this is... you can tell what these are immediately. These are spermatozoa shirking their duty. None of them are interested in becoming a parent. Here's the egg, and here's... Oh, my cat's joining me. Oh, lick, lick, lick. Kitty, I'm in the middle of creating masterpieces. So, there's one. Spermatozoa Kitty, you're standing on all of these things. We'll try this one. Now, some of these ideas I've used before. I mean, some of them are familiar to me because I've drawn them before, but they're a little bit different. There's no two that are alike. And so this is the little engine that could. There's the hill. There's the trains of toys going to the children's hospital or whatever it was supposed to, wherever the little engine that could was supposed to do his or her delivery. I once listened to a story about the little engine that could on All Things Considered. This is back when All Things Considered evidently had time to talk about stories like this, rather than about the fact that our country's going to hell in a handbasket. And there was many psychologists that were interviewed that were talking about how the little engine that could was a horrible story because it gave children the false hopes of being able to succeed. You know, like, okay, what? The little engine that can't? That's what we're supposed to be reading? And then there was a feminist who was upset because the little engine that could was a female, and the female was relegated to caring for the children, which I guess I didn't realize the little engine that could was a female. I guess I thought it was an inanimate object, but I'll put some boobs on her here. There we go. There's some boobs on the train. So here's the little engine that could, going over her, in this case, bump, her hill to deliver. Here's the children's hospital in the distance. Meanwhile, in the very far distance is the very important mail train. I'll draw there's his crank hanging out of the front, and he's zooming fast with his important whatever he had to do. Zooming fast. So anyway, there we go. There's another one. Kitty, you have to move. Oops. Okay, here's another one. Let's see. One of the things that I do is I always rotate the page until I find something that I want. Okay, this is a school, as you can see by the sign on the building. This is supposed to be a building. As you can see, I'm not planning this one out very well, but it is a building. Here's the front steps. We'll call it the something primary school. I-M-A-R-Y, the Donald J. Trump Memorial Primary School. This is in the future sometime. Can you imagine the buildings that are going to have to be named after our present president after he's removed from office next week? Okay, so here's the something or other primary school, and it's what I wanted it to do was, the reason that it's sort of going in perspective was originally going to be something else, but now I'm changing my mind. So it's just it's a primary school taken with a panoramic bird's eye camera lens or something. It's this lights illuminating the sign. So there we go. There's this primary school. Did I spell that right? S-C-H? Yep. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. These can certainly be eyes, nose, mouth, here's someone looking through the keyhole. The nice thing about when you do these, what I called these things were challenge drawings. That's supposed to be the doorknob there. It was supposed to be, so, you don't have to draw well. Clearly I can draw better than I'm drawing right now, but that's, the point is not to, you don't have to draw well to play this game. You can draw kind of poorly actually. It sometimes works better. This guy needs to go to the dentist. So this is the guy looking through the keyhole at, well, I don't know what he's looking through the keyhole, what he's seeing, but it's making him surprised. Bad nose on that guy. So anyway, there's that one. What else can we do here? This could be the beginning of a avalanche. Here's the snowballs rolling down the hill and bouncing. And here's the little sleepy alpine village waiting to be crushed, buried in snow. There's the Matterhorn. Here's the, up at the top of this mountain is the yodeler who caused the avalanche. Yodelehihu. Yodelehihu. And the sound waves caused the mountain to collapse, and the 5,000 residents of sleepy Bergberg, Switzerland. There's the flag of Switzerland. I never can remember. Switzerland it's one of the few flags that's square, and it's one of the few flags that's square. There it is. There's the watchmaking company, and there's the cheese company, Cheese Emporium. And they're soon to be completely buried in snow. Kitty. The cat's tail is either in my nose or Kitty. Whiskers. So anyway, this is how I attack these drawings. Peter's drawings are more abstract or non-representational. They're interesting. They're non-representational, but they have a realistic space to them. You see things in front of other things. You see things dense in one area and open in another area. It's almost as if he is looking at something in reality. When I do doodles, they all tend to look like this, except covering the entire page. There's no there's no variety. They're all dense. Where when Peter does them, there's areas that are, densely packed with stuff, and there's areas that are wide open, and it's really a nice variety, which I don't know how to do. But anyway, I'll keep doing more of these, but I can't do it now because the cat's in the way, and I'll post these, but that's how I do them. Thank you, Peter.